Okay, then if you guys haven't seen the what's it called? I feel like it's a Twitter thing, or it's I don't know where it comes from, but it's like if you go on Instagram, this is France, and then if you go on TikTok, this is France. Yeah, we're gonna find out.
This is France.
And there was some crazy videos of them just shooting up into the air. I mean, why would you do that? Damn, bullets gonna come down somewhere. Hopefully it doesn't hit anybody.
The scale of the riots is moving into uncharted territory for France. According to President Macron, the destruction that has taken place is already worse than the infamous 2005 French riots. Nearly 500 public buildings have been burnt down, 1,000 plus people have been arrested, and hundreds of police officers have been injured. Things have gotten so bad that the government has decided to deploy 45,000 police personnel to try to get things under control.
What's going on there?
The riot started because of news that 2 police officers had shot and killed a 17-year-old boy of Algerian descent. This happened at a traffic stop after the teenager had broken some traffic laws. Initially, the officers claimed that they fired because the boy was driving straight toward the officers, but videos captured by bystanders show things a little bit differently. This is the most widespread video from the internet. I'll show a little bit of the video, but I can't really show the whole thing here because, you know, a person is getting shot in this video. Showing that will most definitely get this video deleted and quite possibly get the channel demonetized. So please, be sure to hit that like button below. Covering risky topics like these doesn't help me with the algorithm, which suppresses anything that's not brand friendly. So your likes are the only thing helping me with the algorithm. All right, let's get to the video. I'll explain what happened, but if anyone wants to watch the whole video, I'm sure you can find it somewhere on Twitter. As you can see from the first few seconds of the clip, 2 officers were involved in the traffic stop. One of them had his weapon pointed at the driver. According to the reports, there's a voice heard in the recording saying, "You're going to get a bullet in the head." I'm guessing that was one of the officers who said that. This is when the driver starts taking off. Then the officer leaning on the hood and pointing his weapon at the driver fired their weapon as the car was taking off. The car then goes on for a few hundred feet before crashing. It was later found that the driver, Niall, died shortly after due to the injuries from the gunshot. This incident is what gave rise to the riots. Many have compared these riots to 2005, when weeks-long riots broke out after the deaths of 2 young boys hiding from the police in an electricity substation. As a result, 3 consecutive nights of violence have rocked major French cities, including Paris, Marseille, Lyon, Toulouse, Strasbourg, and Lille. Buildings have been set ablaze, vehicles torched, and stores looted, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Faced with this escalating crisis, the French government has deployed an unprecedented 45,000 police officers to restore order. President Emmanuel Macron finds himself grappling with the gravest leadership challenge since the Yellow Vest protests that shook the nation in 2018.
We have a teenager who's been killed. It's inexplicable, inexcusable. First of all, I want to express my sorrow and support for his family and loved ones. Secondly, the case was immediately referred to the courts. I hope that it will carry out its work quickly, with the calm that this work requires, and that the truth can be established as soon as possible, and that, of course, we are all informed and that justice is done.
The Interior Minister has called for decisive action in the coming hours, and has not ruled out any measures, including the declaration of a state of emergency. However, the situation remains tense, and any further escalation could lead to unrest spreading in the heart of France's major cities. Amidst the chaos, President Macron left a European Union summit in Brussels to attend a second cabinet crisis meeting in 2 days. He has also appealed to social media platforms to remove sensitive videos and identify individuals inciting violence. The riots have not only impacted the streets, but have also disrupted daily life. Concerts and events, including 2 concerts at the Stade de France, have been cancelled. Even the upcoming Tour de France has organizers on high alert as they prepare to adapt to any potential disruptions. As tensions continue to rise, protests and clashes have taken place throughout the country. The iconic central Paris square, Place de la Concorde, witnessed confrontations between protesters and police. Shops have been ransacked, and public buildings, including schools and town halls, have been attacked. The international community is closely watching these events unfold. Western governments have issued warnings to their citizens traveling to France, urging caution. The United Nations has emphasized the importance of peaceful assembly, while calling on French authorities to ensure non-discriminatory use of force by the police. Though the death of the teenager is what triggered the riots, the real reason lies deeper. The main reason behind the riots is to bring attention to a broader row of issues over police tactics in France. Though the prosecutor has already opened an investigation for manslaughter against the police officer, many believe that the incident is rooted in deeper problems in French society. The accused officer, however, claims that he fired his gun out of fear that the boy would run somebody over with the car. This was the third killing this year during a police traffic stop, after a record 13 deaths last year. Most of the victims have been black or Arab. Now, to truly understand the cause of the problem in French society, we have to look at France's demographics. I know I've already made a video about issues with France's demographics after the protests that happened over the new pension law, but in that video we looked at the French population's age. In this video, we have to understand France's racial demographics to truly understand how we got to what's happening today. To get a complete picture of the French racial demographic, we have to back up a little and start from the 1920s. After the end of the First World War, French leaders realized the size of the population plays a huge role in who wins a war, and France's population was in the decline. So leaders made a huge push to grow the population through encouraging more births and opening up the country to immigration. Hundreds of thousands of Poles, Belgians, and Italians came to live in France between the two world wars. Similarly, after the Second World War, in the years of economic expansion, there was an acute labor shortage, so immigration again reached a high level. But this time immigrants came from North Africa, notably Algeria, an integral part of France until 1962, and the former protectorates of Morocco and Tunisia. People from French or former French territories in Central Africa, Asia, and the Americas provided an additional source of immigration. Initially, these immigrants were viewed as temporary economic migrants, but slowly, these individuals have increasingly been accepted as permanent residents in France. Many have taken up citizenship and brought over families or had children in France. This has led to the transformation of France into a multi-ethnic society, even though many continue to refer to non-whites in the country as immigrants, regardless of where they were born. Now, this is where I want to point out a unique French law. Unlike many other Western European countries, and very much unlike English-speaking immigrant societies like the United States, Canada, or Australia, this is where I want to point out a unique French law. Unlike many other Western European countries, and very much unlike English-speaking immigrant societies like the United States, Canada, or Australia, France has intentionally avoided implementing race-conscious policies. There are no public policies in France that target benefits or confer recognition on groups defined as races. For many Frenchmen, the very term race sends shivers running down their spines, since it tends to remind them of the atrocities of Nazi Germany and the complicity of France's Vichy regime in deporting Jews to concentration camps. Race is such a taboo term that a 1978 law specifically banned the collection and computerized storage of race-based data without the express consent of the interviewees or a waiver by a state committee. France therefore collects no census or other data on the race or ethnicity of its citizens. This means that today, France is an ethnically diverse country, but its leaders don't have much reliable data on that diversity. Peter Zion recently published a good video explaining the problems with this issue. Basically, what it boils down to is that France's leaders haven't been able to appropriate proper resources to help different groups become more educated and increase their earning potential. Usually, these non-ethnic French, who are not as well off as ethnic French, are all congregated together outside the cities away from the ethnic French. Law enforcement presence is usually high in these areas because of the high crime rate, which in turn has made residents in the area unfriendly towards police officers. And in turn, this has led to more incidents between residents and police officers. Again, this is a very complicated issue. I'm trying my best to explain it without making it political. One thing I can say for certain is that violence is most definitely not the answer to the issues here. If you have any more insights on the situation, please feel free to share it down in the comments.
I didn't know that.
I don't consider myself an expert here, and I'm definitely interested in learning more about this. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button so YouTube knows that this is a video that's worth telling people about.
You heard him.
But
yeah, like, subscribe. See you guys later. Hopefully they solve the issues that they got going on, because shots being fired into the air isn't safe for anybody. But yeah, see you guys. Bye.